So Wicked probably has to be the biggest surprise of 2024 for me because there's a lot of marketing for it, a lot of trailers, and I thought, oh, okay, this would probably be an okay movie, nothing too crazy. Um, I just think a lot of movies that are overly marketed like this one tend to be a little disappointing. But for me, with Wicked, it was the opposite. I love this movie. Um, I really knew nothing about the play besides the fact that it's about the witches before the Wizard of Oz, like the very basic bare bones stuff. So seeing this was a really good experience. And you guys know how I feel about the Wizard of Oz. I mean, I love the movie. I love the original Frank L. Baum books. I read those in elementary school. I kind of went through like this huge Oz phase when I was little. So I did not like Oz the Great and Powerful. That movie was ass. So I was a little hesitant about this one, but thankfully this one was really, really good. I really enjoyed this movie. It humanizes the Wicked Witch of the West, which is something I never thought would happen. Like, to actually make me feel sorry for the Wicked Witch of the West. It's unique. You don't really see stuff like that. You do, but usually it's not as effective. Like, everybody in this movie is so fucking racist to Alphaba. It's upsetting. They're just mean to her the entire time. Just because he's green. It's not really made clear why she's green. Is it because her mom cheated on her dad? Is that why she's green? It's kind of left ambiguous. Um, but yeah, I think her actress Cynthia Erivo does a really good job in this, playing like a more vulnerable side of the Wicked Witch, which is, like I said, something I never thought I'd see. So yeah, some great like singing moments, especially the Wizard of Eye, and of course the final big bombastic defying gravity, which I think is the best scene in the movie. It's just such an epic way to end it and leave you wanting more for part two next year. But I think the real standout for the movie for me was Ariana Grande as Glinda or Glinda. Um, Now, I'm not really a huge fan of her music because it's a little too poppy for my taste. Um, I think she's a great singer, so I think she really gets to shows that in this movie. Um, Though you guys know, I am a huge fan of Victorious, even as an adult. Maybe some of that has to do with nostalgia because I'd watched the show when I was 7, but I don't know. It's just cool to see her in a movie again, like an actually like comedy role because Ariana Grande is very good at comedies. He gets those funny moments down so like spot on. Like once he was playing, uptight rich girl Glinda, and then you get to see more vulnerable side of Glinda later in the movie, like that shows that she's not really as shallow as you think she is. She's able to balance that well, and of course, she has some great singing moments too. And the funniest moment was when she was like singing the popular song and she was wiggling around the ground singing. It was just so funny. I actually saw this movie twice, and I don't usually do that. Like I don't usually see movies twice in a movie theater, but I really enjoyed it, so I thought it was worth seeing it a second time. Um, Very good the second time. You notice things you don't really notice the first time you watch it, like how the school was really built by the animals, and you can see that because like when Alphaba knocks the big crest of the whistle down, you see the animals underneath it. I didn't notice that the first time, but that's cool. Peter Dinklage is in this movie. He voices a goat. I'm kind of glad they didn't make him a munchkin because I feel like he's not really. He's known as not just a dwarf actor. He's just an actor who happens to be a dwarf. So I'm kind of glad they didn't do that. But I didn't know he could sing. He even has a singing moment in here, and he's pretty good too. And you feel bad for him because animals are not being treated well by the land of Oz, and you just feel sorry for him. It's kind of like how you felt sorry for Linda Cardellini as an owl in Rocket Raccoon in Guardians of the Galaxy 3. Kind of those feelings. And I love animals. You guys don't know this, but I love animals. So anytime an animal's in pain, it makes me upset. So justice for Peter Dinklage again. Um, Michelle Yeoh's in this movie, and she has this like really commanding presence. She's not a good singer, gonna be honest. She cannot sing, um, but I think she still gives a good performance. Jeff Goldblum plays the Wizard. He's basically just Jeff Goldblum, as he is in almost everything he's in. Like when he was talking, I just thought, oh, there he is trying to get me to sign up for apartments.com. Um, he just kind of plays the same character he plays in Jurassic Park or Thor Ragnarok or anything else. Oh, hi, I'm Jeff Goldblum. I'm the Wizard. That kind of golly gee attitude. But as we know from the movie that came out 85 years ago and the book that came out 124 years ago, the Wizard is not as powerful as he seems. But he's never really been made out to be this villain, which I think is a really interesting choice, making it that the Wizard's evil and Elphaba is good. It kind of shows like the grayness of morality, and the power of propaganda. That's a really big theme in this movie too. So the way it ends, like I said, very epic. I like the lead up to it too, like when they enter the Emerald City and you see Idina Menzel and Kristen, the lady who played Glinda, the original Glinda. That was kind of cool to have them show up and sing too. There's a lot of nods to the original movie, like when she's riding the bike with Ferrario, and like it's the same bike from the original. And then you have the silver slippers, and you have like the opening title looks exactly like the original opening title for The Wizard of Oz. Little stuff like that. Like they didn't have to do that, but I thought it adds a sense of like, yep, this is the same universe. The sets looked good too. They didn't look like this big green screen background. Like there's obviously a bunch of CGI in the movie, but you could tell that they used actual sets, and I think that's important to immerse yourself into. It's not like a Marvel movie where the entire fucking thing's in front of this big green screen and none of it looks real. Like the sets for the Emerald City looked really good. The sets for Shiz looked good. They they planted 9 million poppies. I don't know what they did with that. Hopefully nothing illegal. Um, that'll be crazy if that happened. Um, but yeah, there's like this authenticity of it, kind of like the original movie had. Like none of it's real, but like it just looks cool. So yeah, very excited for Wicked Part 2 next November. Um, Probably get it on Blu-ray when it comes out. Let me know what you guys thought of it down in the comments below, and I will talk to you guys next time. Peace.